a video in the making. It's gonna come out in like 2 days, but I 2 days, but I Yeah, here's the video. So what's the best Game Pass to get in PTFS? That question might seem complicated because from the A380 to the Mighty Walrus, there are a total of 21 Game Passes in PTFS. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing every single one. Starting off with the A380. And also, we have our friend back here.
Oh, me too. Hello.
Let's go. So starting off, the big thing that differentiates this plane from any other plane is, of course, like Mr. Bullsfan says,
Double decker.
This is actually the largest commercial airliner that is still in use by many airlines.
that is true, yes, that's very true. And the design of the landing gears and also the tilt leads to some really amazing butters. However, the downside is, I mean, look at that nose. I mean, like, what is that? I mean, here's a picture of what the A380's nose is supposed to look like. I mean, it's a little lacking.
The A380's engines, I give a lot of respect to them because they carry this double-decker monster that carries I think over 300 passengers on it and is operated by so many freaking airlines.
But regardless of the nose and the questionable cockpit, for only being 95 Robux, I'd give this aircraft an 8 out of 10.
Out of 10, I rate this Game Pass, like he said, out of 95 Robux, I give it around the same, 8 out of 10 bananas.
Alright, cool. And this time, we're not saving the best for last. We'll just show you guys right away. The Air Force One. Nice. That worked well. Now, this aircraft is literally the peak of aircraft in PTFS, which is actually going to make this really difficult to beat. And honestly, I don't even know if it can be beat. Now, I'm not going to review the entirety of this aircraft because we already reviewed it and it turned out phenomenal. I can put the video up on screen there. This plane is just the most intricate and the most perfectly designed aircraft, I think, in PTFS. It's so complicated and I really think it deserves a really good rating. So I'm going to give this aircraft a rating of 9.5 bananas.
I would give it a 9 out of 10 bananas.
Yeah, I'd say if you want to get a Game Pass, this is probably your best bet right here. Next up, we have the ATC Game Pass. That also comes with FreeCam. Now, FreeCam is something I use to make all of my videos, which is why I'm already going to start off by giving this a high rating. Next up, we have the ATC... no, I already recorded that! Oh my god! And ATC is honestly pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to explain it very much. It just gives you access to the ATC tower and lets you talk as ATC in the chat. And obviously the FreeCam Game Pass is a really big plus, making it the best alternative you can ever get to binoculars. Which means never have to worry about that grid-like movement of the binoculars, which has really been annoying for a lot of filmmakers. So overall, the ATC Game Pass is really good, and I'm gonna give it a high rating, 9 out of 10.
With the Game Pass, an 8.5 out of 10 bananas.
Pretty similar ratings there, actually. The next aircraft on our list is the beloved AN225, which is one of my favorite aircraft, and you want to know why? This is why. I mean, look, this is so amazing. And here we are with the last piece of ramp coming down onto the ground. This is honestly why the AN225 is probably the best aircraft in the game. But there is a caveat. There is a really big caveat to the AN225 that I will explain in just a second. But first, let me show you guys why this is the coolest aircraft in PTFS. Okay, so look at this. You can already see where I'm going with this. This is the only aircraft in PTFS, at least so far, as the time of recording this, where you can load in cargo. Oh my god, you don't know how happy I am to be able to say that. You can actually throw in cargo into this aircraft, and you can actually fly around with it.
Also, the N225 is pretty cool because it has this little steps right here that you can get into the aircraft pretty easily. If the door is closed, this is probably a one-way trip into the cabin, the crew cabin. You got this little ladder here that would work pretty well for, loading your crew, loading your pilots, co-pilots, and it's pretty cool.
And the cockpit itself is literally a gauntlet. There is so much stuff in the cockpit. There's so much design, and they make it so accurate to the true AN225, and it's just amazing. I mean, besides the overhead, which but overall, this aircraft is really cool, and I would give this. I'm gonna give this actually probably the highest rating of the day, a 9.7. Yes, I did say that Air Force One was my favorite aircraft. Honestly, I think I'm switching my vote to the 225. However, the big issue with this, and why I'm gonna give it a 7 rating, is its price tag. This is the most expensive aircraft in PTFS, coming in at 225 Robux. This is This is that's a big caveat for most people, and it is for me. But with my next payment will probably be the 225, just because it's overall just the coolest aircraft in the game.
I would rate this a 9.8 out of 10 bananas.
All right, so next up we have whatever this is. This is the SR-71 Blackbird. This is honestly it's a really cool concept of a plane. Now I personally have no idea what this model is. It looks okay, but I don't know. It just doesn't look the best. And if we look in the cockpit, that becomes evident. Look at this. Oh my gosh, look at this cockpit. What is this? I mean, look, we have the PNG. This is like the F-15 Part 2 right here.
And also, this thing is like really, really low quality. Like the design of this and the design of like the cockpit and the like nose and the like engines, they're not that good, but it's a cool like Sheep Shoot said, it's a cool concept of a plane, but it's just not really my type of detail.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely with that. But overall, I think I'd give this plane just a 7. And actually, I'd do a 6 out of 10 bananas for this one. Alright, and then next up on our list is all of the blimp game passes. Now, okay, I'm gonna be very honest right now. Like, you would only ever get this game pass if you're gonna roleplay something. If you hop into a server, you're not just like gonna be, oh golly me, let me go in and fly the caravan blimp over to Greater Rockford. Like nobody does that. And also just the quality of the aircraft is a little lacking as well.
I think the caravan blimp is more of like if you're going on small trips, you could get on this one because it is kind of called a caravan blimp. So I feel like this would be used for like smaller trips, and every single other blimps, I feel like these would just be for like advertisements, commercial, like holding a few passengers for just for like fun flights, not like actual reasoning flights.
Overall, these planes
Cool.
you should not. Honestly, if you don't have a lot of money, do not get any of these.
Okay, and I would for me to rate this, I'm gonna rate them separately. So I would rate the caravan blimp solid 4.8 out of 10 bananas, and I would rate the normal blimp actual good 7 out of 10 bananas.
Okay, I'm gonna be straight honest. I'd rate the caravan blimp, the one that Spooky Ray's flying, like a 4, and I'd also rate this blimp, the normal blimp, like a 6. That's my rating. And now we have a pretty cool aircraft, if I do say so myself. It's the C-130, and it's actually Spooky Ray's one of his at least favorite aircrafts. His most favorite being the Air Force One, if I got that correct.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's go. I like it. It's a really cool like designed aircraft. It's a really. And the interior could use a remodel, but overall, it's a really cool aircraft. And the cockpit itself is not it's not too bad.
I love the little I forgot what his name is, but I love this little place right here because it's got so much detail to it. Like right here, it's like amazing detail, but it's kind of like rough. It's not very well placed. It's just got really good detail to it though.
And obviously over here, if you look over here, we got the AC-130 that is essentially a weaponized C-130. In case you guys don't know, the C-130 is mainly used for transport and cargo, just like main cargo transport, or sometimes it's used to transport military personnel to other locations. And the AC-130 is a type of C-130 that has guns and machinery on the sides of it just to better help defend itself. And these aircraft would mainly be used in war scenarios and stuff like that.
And the AC-130 is basically, it says it in the name, A stands for attack, and C stands for cargo. And this aircraft has like two, I think these are actually howitzers, like 2 howitzers, and then we have a machine gun right here. I do not know the specified one, and we have a little radar right here and a radar right here to like plan out where you're gonna attack and like send some things out.
That's actually a really good thing he pointed out. I'm glad he knew them because I did not know them. I did not know the names of the machines, so I'm glad he did. And I mean, if you stand back and look at this aircraft, you can see why it's 95 Robux. I'd personally give this a 9 out of 10 bananas.
And I would give this a 10 out of 10 bananas.
Oh, we got a 10 out of 10 bananas. Oh, wow. Well, that's great. I mean, it is his favorite one. But honestly, if I'm being honest, a 10 out of 10 could very well be justified for this aircraft. I mean, it just looks, it's a piece of art. It's a really good piece of art. All right, and here we have the Chinook. Now, I mean, let's just take a look at this. Let's go one by one. Okay, he's swapping, he's swapping flares. But my main problem with it is that it's a cool concept, and I personally like the Chinook in real life. I think it's a pretty cool, pretty good, well like modeled aircraft. But in PTFS, it's a little lacking. And the interior is kind of mid in my opinion. And I just think overall, it could have been made better. But I like it. It could use a remodel, but it's not horrible.
The sound of the helicopter is actually pretty it's pretty satisfying in my opinion.
Yeah, let's go ahead and listen to it real quick. Yeah, I can see what he means by that. If we look into the cockpit
Okay.
here, we can see that it's also not the bestly modeled aircraft. It seems like to be one of the first, but it's not horrible. But if I'm being honest, for this to be 95 Robux, I don't know. I don't see that it should be bought. If I'm being honest, for now, I'm sticking to a 6 out of 10 bananas for this one.
And for me, I would stick to 5.6 bananas.
And here we are with the Coast Guard Game Pass. Now, the Coast Guard Game Pass brings a couple things. Number one, it brings in the UH-60 Blackhawk, the Coast Guard variant. And second of all, it spawns in the boat. And this boat is used for a lot of things. And, oh, what's that? Oh, no way. Is that an F-35 that I purposely crashed through just so that we could show off this Game Pass? I think so. And he's off. And as you can see, this is mainly what this Game Pass is used for. It's used mainly for RPs, but sometimes it's actually needed. For example, if you actually accidentally crash, which in this case didn't happen. But a main feature that the Coast Guard variant brings is obviously that wire that people can hang on to and then be saved. And just like that, I can get grabbed on right off, and then I can get lifted up and then get saved. And he can just wind that up until I'm inside of the Coast Guard, and then I get saved from this F-35. Starting off, we're gonna be rating the UH-60. I'm giving this actually a 9 out of 10. This is actually a really cool idea, and I think it's been executed perfectly.
Yeah, this aircraft is actually pretty good. I feel like it's a really, really good aircraft idea. So I give this a rating of 8 out of 10 bananas.
Alright, and then we also have this air ambulance thing, which this is literally just like a worse Coast Guard. This is just essentially a worse UH-6. Now, there is also an ambulance that does practically the exact same thing, except it doesn't have a hook. And I don't know, I just don't really think it's a good aircraft. I just think it's a worse UH-60. So overall, I'm gonna give this actually a 6 out of 10 bananas.
And I would give it around, let's say, a 5.7 out of 10 bananas.
And I also have to review the Coast Guard boat. And oh my gosh, this boat goes a lot faster than I would have thought. So now, for example, this Coast Guard bird can go ahead and save aircraft. But it honestly does the same thing as the UH-60. But I personally think the UH-60 is cooler to use. So I'm going to give this one just beneath the UH-60 with an 8 out of 10 bananas.
I would give this one probably 7 out of 10 bananas.
And the last thing we have to review about this Game Pass is the C-130. Here we are, and honestly, this aircraft looks really cool. Okay, he's Suki Brace testing out the flaps there. And as you can see, the Coast Guard, it doesn't change a lot. It just changes the outside of the aircraft, but it does look pretty cool. It would probably be used to do something like transport UH-60s, but as you can see,
Since Sheep Troop does not really know what this is used for, let me go ahead and explain it. The Coast Guard C-130 is used to search out and find aircraft that are in the water, and they're basically just like radars for the Coast Guard helicopters, and they're used to point out aircraft that are in the ocean and try to communicate with other aircraft that are having problems and see if they need Coast Guard, and then spot them out for the UH-60s to come and use them. And then the C-130 or HC-130, which is the HC-130J, which is the Coast Guard variant, is just used for what I just explained there. It's not really a cargo. It doesn't hold any cargo. It's used for searching, and yeah.
So overall, the Coast Guard Game Pass, I think we probably gave it a really good rating. I think I'd overall give the entirety of the Coast Guard Game Pass a 9.5 out of 10 bananas.
I would give the Coast Guard Game Pass the same rating.
So now we arrived to an aircraft that I actually own, finally, the F-16. The F-16 is actually one of my favorite fighters that has ever been. I just think the jet intake design looks really cool, and overall, the size of the F-16 I think is just really cool and really sleek. The cockpit is really good as far as cockpits go. The throttle looks really good, the joystick looks really good, and even the HUD and the MFDs all look amazing.
I would totally agree with this. This thing is very very high quality. I loved like the design of the wheels, the gear, the intake, the cockpit. It's just so amazing. I love
Yeah.
this aircraft. So
Actually, there is one thing we can talk about with the F-16, and that, of course, is the Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds is honestly a really good United States acrobatics team in terms of aviation, also followed by the Blue Angels, which we'll get to in just a second. I personally like it. You can always find this one clip of those Thunderbirds guiding one of the last 747s, which is just like that's like the type of things that the F-16 are known for. For overall, I would give the F-16 a 9.5 out of 10 bananas. I've been giving a lot of things a 9.5, but honestly, I feel like the F-16 deserves it.
okay, and I would probably give it an 8 out of 10 bananas.
Alright, this is actually the first fighter I ever bought in PTFS, so it has a little bit of sentimental value to me. Here we have the F-22. This aircraft was actually the first aircraft I ever bought in PTFS, and I think it's for good reason. This is probably one of the most highly advanced fighters that the American Navy has to offer, and it's honestly just really sleek. I think it's like a 5th and 6th gen fighter at the same time, which is amazing.
This aircraft, this F-22, is actually a 5th generation fighter. And yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's pretty sleek, and like I said to Sheep earlier, it was probably off camera, but this orange tint right here is used to like deflect like radar detection, and that means it makes it like way more stealthy than any other aircraft.
And that is actually why F-22s have that. It's not just like something there for show. It actually has a purpose. And also a really nice realistic touch to the F-22. And I can't go without saying this, but yes, this F-22 did not start off like this. It was a remodel. This has been remodeled, but it's been remodeled really well. It looks so much better than last time. Last time wasn't that bad, if I'm being honest, but it just overall looks really nice. And also we can see here the chrome livery, which is actually the livery I aim for using just because it looks just really cool. It looks really sleek. It makes the aircraft look a lot more secretive and stuff like that.
The aircraft overall, I would probably rate it a 9 out of 10 bananas.
I agree. I'd rate it a 9 out of 10 bananas on the dot.
Same rating.
And this is the last fighter that we're going to rate today, and it's the F-35. Now, I'm going to start off by saying that the only reason the F-35 is cool, in my opinion, is its VTOL. I mean, look at that! Look at how cool that animation is. It looks so nice. It just overall looks really good, and this is the best feature I think Orange has implemented, and it turned out really well. Okay, oh no, oh god. Okay, ignore him popping flares. But if you look at the canopy, you can actually see it has that yellowish tint, like Spooky Ray was saying, that deflects radar signals and stuff like that. And he's popping flares just straight onto the canopy. Wow. Oh my god, what is this? However, as cool this aircraft is with its sleek design and relatively high quality, the only downside for me is, however, the cockpit. It seems like it's a lot of random blocks just like thrown around in the shape of a cockpit.
That's what the cockpit in real life looks like too. It's basically like a few buttons, and basically all of the things that control the aircraft are on that screen that is right in front of you. But in real life, there's like barely any buttons like on in the actual cockpit.
But yeah, overall, I think I'd rate the F-35 an 8 out of 10. Actually, I rated an 8.5 out of 10 bananas, just mainly because of the VTOL. And this is my favorite acrobatics team of the US Navy, the Blue Angels. Now, the Blue Angels is just, it's really cool. Like, if you look at any of their videos, you'll see why this is one of the coolest acrobatics team that has ever, like, existed, in my opinion. As you can see, they have the smoke capabilities in PTFS, which is just really great. And overall, this is just a really cool addition to PTFS. It actually leads to some really good role plays. But yeah, next up we have Fat Albert, and this is the C-130 livery, but it's part of the Blue Angels, so we're gonna count it.
I love this livery. This livery is just amazing. It's got that good old text on the right and left side. It's got United States Marines, and it's got the Blue Angels logos on the tail if you look back there.
So I'm personally, the Blue Angels is a really cool game pass, and actually if you really want the Blue Angels livery, it's honestly not a bad idea. So in terms of rating this aircraft, I'd give the Fat Albert, I think I'd give it a 9 out of 10 bananas. And then for the F-18, 9.5 out of 10 bananas.
And I would rate the whole Blue Angels Game Pass, I was probably rate an 8.5 out of 10.
Alright, here you have the fire engine. This is going to be a really short one, but it's going to be really cool. And the fire engine is mainly used either for role plays, or it can also be used for water salutes, just like random water salutes. If someone has the fire engine, they're most likely going to try to fire salute you. And this is just an example right here of what this would look like. It looks really cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it's that necessary. However, if I'm being honest, it is a little pointless. Overall, not the worst thing. Oh my gosh, I didn't actually know it had that. I didn't know it could do that.
Yeah, I can turn the lights on and off and the sounds.
However, if we're being honest, it is a car, and this is a plane game. So I am going to give it like a 6.5, maybe a 7.
And I would probably rate it, maybe a 7 out of 10.
Alright, next up we have the Red Arrows, our last acrobatics team of the day. Now, the Red Arrows is actually a British acrobatics team as opposed to the 2 American acrobatics teams that we've seen today. And as you can see, the color of the smoke changes with how long you use it for.
Man, I feel like the cockpit is like so underrated. It is so good and it's very high detail. And so is the co-pilot seat. It's very, very high detailed. Well, the co-pilot seat isn't that detailed, but the pilot seat is very, very detailed.
Yeah, I would agree with him completely there. You got the throttle there, you got the joystick right there, which is very accurate to the real thing. And I'm actually gonna give this I'm gonna give this the same rating as the Blue Angels, an 8.5 out of 10.
I would give it around a 6.8 out of 10 bananas.
Alright, and now we've arrived to the only one that neither of us have. The hot air balloon. And you wanna know why? You wanna know why we don't have them?
It sucks.
Cause it's pointless. I'm giving this a 1 out of 10 bananas. We're done here.
I'm giving this a 0 out of 10 bananas, trust me.
Yes. Yeah, okay, moving on. Okay, now we have the Learjet. Now I'm going to start off by saying that the Learjet, it's just essentially like a rich person's CRJ 700, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, the overall model is completely different, but it still serves the main purpose as being a regional jet and being served to mainly private aircraft.
I like the Learjet is probably one of my favorite aircrafts. Not my favorite aircraft, but one of mine because the inside is just amazing. The cockpit is absolutely fabulous, bro, and it's pretty good. Very well designed. It's got 4 liveries. The inside is really good. The private jet. It's a very good private jet.
Okay, I will agree with what he said at the end. It is probably the best light aircraft that we have. Let's give it an 8 out of 10 bananas for me.
And I would agree with him. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 bananas.
Okay, now we happen to have a really short one here because there's not much to talk about here. We have the outfit picker. The outfit picker is literally exactly what it is. It just lets you customize what your outfit is without you having to pay for the customizations yourself. As you can see, you can get these ones for only 15 Robux. You can get all of these, as a matter of fact, for 15 Robux, and these are all used for different scenarios. So, for example, this headset one I usually like to pick up along with classic a crew outfit. Oh. And all that stuff. You guys can get the gist of what this team outfit game pass looks. Overall, I'd give it's a pretty cool game pass, but it's not necessary whatsoever. But it is cool, so I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10 bananas.
Give it 7 out of 10 bananas.
So we were about to start recording, but we found this decal at the Waterloo, so that's my first time ever seeing that. All right, but anyways, here we have the seaplanes. Real quick, I'm just gonna to put a little disclaimer here. So let's actually start off with in my opinion, the best one, which is the Twin Otter seaplane. The Twin Otter seaplane is literally just a Twin Otter, except it can actually float on water, and it has the floats down there, and it actually has its custom gear animation, which I think is at least really cool. But overall, I just feel like it's a little bit like much for a Game Pass item. But I can also understand completely why it is a Game Pass, which kind of contradicts myself, but whatever. Then we got the Cessna Caravan seaplane, and there are a couple others, like the Piper Cub, but we're not going to talk about those because these are honestly the main ones anyone uses if they do use these seaplanes. I don't know, I just don't see a lot of people using this. It's like the blimps actually. So I overall give this, it's better than the blimp though. So I'm gonna give it a slightly higher rating than the blimp at a 6. Actually, I'll do a 7 out of 10 bananas for the seaplanes.
And I'm gonna get a 6.5 out of 10 for the seaplanes.
All right, and next up we have the Santa sleigh. Wait, where is it? Wait, why do I hear jingle bells? Oh my gosh. Well, there's the Santa sleigh. A big part about the Santa sleigh is that it goes insanely fast, as you could probably tell by that. I'm using the okay. But yeah, they go really fast. The sound effect is actually really funny. Oh my gosh, it's gonna fall. Oh my gosh, it literally bounced. Rudolph is dead. Oh no. Now Santa Sleigh is a pretty nifty aircraft to have. It's 95 Robux, so it isn't any more expensive. As you can see, they even added in Rudolph's nose there. Stop moving the plane, please. Stop. So as you can see, Rudolph has his red nose right here, along with all the other ones. I don't know what the names are for all of these. I guess I haven't memorized them. Oh, what the? Okay, Rudolph is buff. Rudolph's so buff. Okay. As you see from that skit I made at the beginning, this plane can go insanely fast.
Alright,
What? So I would personally rate Santa. What? I'd personally rate Santa. I think it's a funny thing to rate. But I'm not gonna give it like a 10 out of 10 just because of the stupidity of it. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 rating.
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 bananas.
All right, and next we have the Walrus. Wait, not again. Not again. All right, so here we have the Walrus. The Walrus is by far the fastest aircraft in PTFS, just for some reason. It goes 5,000 knots, and what you saw in the beginning, what you saw in that skit there, was an example of how unreasonably fast it goes. There's one Walrus, and there's another Walrus, and there's another Walrus stuck in the terminal. That's how fast it can go. If you mess up, it will literally stab itself into the ground. But it's hilarious, and let's see this thing go 5,000 knots, shall we? All right, we've taken off. We're going completely vertical here. Wait, okay, we just broke the sound barrier. That's how within a Walrus. All right, and here we are, and I think you can already start to see how fast it's actually going just by how fast we're flying by the runway. Look at that, we just crossed the entirety of the Orenji runway, one of the longest runways in PTFS, in like 1 second, maybe less. Okay.
That's only 4,000 knots. Let me reach 5,000 knots.
But let me just show you guys. Look how fast he's moving around in the map. Like, look how fast he's going. Like, that already is concerning. Concerningly fast. Look at that. He's beelining it. He's like a bullet. There he is. Oh my gosh. I literally couldn't even catch that. That was so fast.
That's at 5,000 knots.
And I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 bananas. It's literally the most bananas aircraft we've covered today.
I'm gonna give it a 8.5 out of 10.
Alright, and out of this entire video, these are the top 4 best aircraft that we have decided. The C-130, the AN-225, the Air Force One, and the Coast Guard Game Pass being represented by the UH-60 Black Hawk. Starting off, I think the coolest one here has to be the AN-225, just because of all of its usability and stuff like that. However, the most intricate one has to be the Air Force One out of all of these aircraft. And the coolest one, in my opinion, is the C-130, and I think the most useful one is the Coast Guard Game Pass. So with that being said, every single aircraft here is good. It just really depends on you, what you want in a good Game Pass. But I think me and Spooky Ray will come to our own decision. But just so you know, if you're gonna get a Game Pass, get one of these 4. And here you can stop watching the video. But if you want to know what we decide, keep watching. So aircraft we've rated the highest out of all these 4 is the AN-225. But we're not gonna stop there. We're gonna decide, all of us, right here, right now. So first of all, Spooky Ray, which one do you think out of all of these is the one you find yourself using the most?
Out of all of these, I feel like the one that has like the most use is probably the Air Force One, and I very much like it. And the C-130, I would probably pick over this one, but the Air Force One just has more like things to do, has staircase animations, more interior and stuff like that, and I just like it like a lot.
Yes, I agree with that completely. However, I would think I would find myself using the most either the AN-225 or the Air Force One. And out of those two, I honestly am going to choose probably the AN-225. It's just, I feel like it's the coolest one. It's the only one with actual cargo. It's just overall, and its animations look really nice. So with that, I feel like which one can we get rid of now that we've selected that? Now that we've chosen the AN-225 and the Air Force One as the ones we'd use the most.
Okay, in my opinion, the AN-225 is a little bit overrated. So I am going to, unfortunately, cross that one out.
Okay, so Spooky Bray has crossed out the AN-225 for his favorite Game Pass aircraft. But I feel like we can both, me and Spooky Bray, can say I think we're both gonna cross out the Coast Guard Game Pass as the best Game Pass to get.
Yeah, we can both agree on that, definitely.
All right, so that
Although
leaves us.
I really do like the stuff that it comes with, but unfortunately we have to cross it out.
Alright, so here we are now in between the AN225 and the Air Force One.
I'm probably just gonna cross out the N225 and that's it. So yeah.
Alright, yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, I guess it's not for everyone. The AN225, I just think holds more history, and I just think it looks cooler. I think the animation really makes it look nice. I think the overall design is really unique to the AN225. Also making it the fact that it's the only ever aircraft to hold cargo in PTFS, and also is the first one. It just also gets those bonus points, and also it has a lot of animated stuff. It has animated nodes, it has an animated door, it has an animated ladder, and that no other aircraft has. So out of the Air Force One and the AN225, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with the AN225. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Please be sure to thank Spooky Bray for lending like 90% of all the aircraft used in this video. He has practically every single one. Okay, the N225 is having a spasm over there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye, have a great day, stay healthy, don't die.